Jerry Lewis plays Applegate, the tricky devil who helps the Washington Senators finally beat those damn Yankees. The character is supposed to be sly and silky, adjectives not usually associated with Jerry Lewis. And he misses those qualities here.
Lola, in case you've missed it, we're in something of a jam.
For the most part, Jerry plays the role straight, but he gets laughs only when he goes out of character and lapses into his typical shtick, like burning his hand on a coffee pot. He later makes goofy faces, crosses his eyes, sticks out his tongue, and yells in his squeaking voice, "Hey, lady." In this number, he reverts to his nightclub act, throwing his stick repeatedly high in the air, then failing to catch it. And Lewis gets his biggest laugh of the night when he yells, "I hate charity." And the charity telethon king then does a long, mugging double take as the audience applauds. As a song and dance man, Lewis is adequate, but the comedy of the slick cynicism of Satan, delivered so memorably by Ray Walston originally and by Victor Garber most recently, is absent now. In all fairness, most of the audience seemed to enjoy Jerry's shtick. We were not amused. Stuart Klein for Fox News.
You may find the weather a little bit amusing. It looks like it's on the upswing for a change. Nick Gregory has our weather.
Tell us, entertainment editor Dennis Cunningham. Dennis.
Reggie, thank you. Here's a Broadway curiosity in more ways than one. First, I'm reviewing a Broadway reopening. This revival of Damn Yankees opened in March of '94, and then it closed in December of '94 for 10 weeks. And now here it is again, starring Jerry Lewis, who, this is curiosity number 2, has waited until now, as he's bearing down on his 70s, to make his Broadway debut. As things turn out, Jerry Lewis is far more in evidence than Damn Yankees is. I do think, though, Jerry is nowhere near it now. He could be on his way to a good, legit performance. Let's take a look at this musical about a man who sells his soul to the devil for his baseball team.
We've got heart, miles and miles and miles of heart.
Since the mid-50s, Damn Yankees has been best known as the musical that features the song Heart. These days, though, for better or for worse, it's best known as the musical starring Jerry Lewis. Oh, and incidentally, it's not for better.
You just can't get good help these days. It's enough to make you sick.
As of now, Mr. Lewis does not do what's required of any actor. He cannot present himself as part of an ensemble or part of a scene or even part of a plot. Furthermore, he doesn't handle dialogue convincingly, though he does do well what he's done well for decades. Frankly, Jerry Lewis succeeds in Damn Yankees only twice, both in Act 2, which is where his 2 songs are, when he can indulge in pure show business. Here, when he shares a song with Charlotte Amboise, and there, when he's all alone.
Of those good old days. Oh, yeah.
Well, perhaps you've heard this before, but Mr. Lewis's most devoted fans will, I guess, enjoy it far more than most, since they want to see Jerry Lewis more than they want to see Damn Yankees. And as things turn out, Jerry Lewis is far more in evidence than Damn Yankees is. I do think, though, Jerry is nowhere near it now. He could be on his way to a good, legit performance if he's willing to try the right now. Well, believe it or not, he does manage to change the line, "Is this your house, lady?" to "Is this your house, lady?" So I'm not sure he's headed in the right direction at the moment.
I saw someplace, I read it, he said he wanted to do it because his father wanted him to be on Broadway.
Yes, I read that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you, Dennis. Well, Mark.
Well, Cindy.
We have a spring-like week coming up.
Yeah, we sure do. We've got a great week ahead of us, but you remember where we were
You know something?
Yeah.
Something's burning. I'm sorry, it's me. I overheat when I get excited.
Lewis says he's excited in his debut as the devil in Damn Yankees. He brings his familiar slapstick antics to the role, and judging from the applause, the audience wouldn't have it any other way. That's the news for now. Have a great evening.
Lola once. I didn't see the play, but I saw the movie. I used to love the movie.
Great.
Didn't know I could sing, could you?
No, I did. I didn't. You missed your call.
I can not only read the news, but I can sing. Can't do sports, though.
Well,
in every country, as currently heating up the Broadway stage. Joel Siegel is here to tell us which are hits and which are misses. Joel.
Hi, Roz. 3 shows reviewed. First, an unqualified rave from the only Broadway critic who actually ate at Smokey Joe's Cafe. I found out why they call it rock and roll. The Virginia Theater was rocking so hard they were afraid it might roll down to 34th Street.
There goes my baby, where is my baby? There goes my baby.
They've got the steps, they've got the suits, they've got the songs, written by Jerry Lieber and Mike Stoller, who wrote 100 hits.
Why's everybody always picking on me?
These are great songs, his lines, instead of acting them. This isn't good.
Is you back to Providence looking, if memory serves, like the model for Old Dutch Cleanser?
Had he been playing for George Steinbrenner, he would have been fired before the second act. A shame, because that's when Lewis gets his 2 songs, which he handles well, though he's no Ray Walston or Victor Garber. And the real shame is he's no Jerry Lewis either. There's no shtick, there's almost no fun.
Like the hopes that were dashed when the stock market crashed. Those were the good old days.
Yes, he can sing, and the show is a hit. Lewis will attract tourists and do business on the road, but talk about replacement players. Victor Garber stopped the show 6 times the night I saw it. Jerry Lewis just slows it down.
She still got some winners in there. Great.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No. Thank you, Joel. Good seeing you. Well, this weather sure is a hit.
As curiosity number 3, I think, of all things, he's playing the devil in a musical about a middle-aged man who sells his soul to that devil for the sake of his hometown baseball team. Since the mid-50s, Damn Yankees has been best known as the musical that features the song Heart. These days, though, for better or for worse, it's best known as the musical starring Jerry Lewis. Oh, and incidentally, it's not for better.
You just can't get good help these days. It's enough to make you sick.
As of now, Mr. Lewis does not do what's required of any actor. He cannot present himself as part of an ensemble or part of a scene or even part of a plot. Furthermore, he doesn't handle dialogue convincingly, though he does do well what he's done well for decades. Frankly, Jerry Lewis succeeds in Damn Yankees only twice, both in Act 2, which is where his 2 songs are, when he can indulge in pure show business. Here, when he shares a song with Charlotte Amboise, and there, when he's all alone.
Of those good old days. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Lewis's most devoted fans will, I think, enjoy it all far more than most, since they want to see Jerry Lewis more than they want to see Damn Yankees, and as it turns out, Jerry Lewis is more in evidence than Damn Yankees is. I do think, though, Jerry is nowhere near it now. He could be on his way to a good, legit performance. It'll take a while, and he's got to be willing to try, though right now, well, believe it or not, he does manage to change the line, "Is this your house, lady?" to "Is this your house, lady?" That's where we are right now.
That is the question everybody asks, because that's what we know of.
Everybody's going to the theater hoping he's going to do a few of
Oh,
them. I'm sure.
Well, that is the problem. They want him to be.
Right.
And then what happens to the show? Currently, the show's way back there somewhere. Yeah.
And isn't that, though, I mean, that's the trap of being an actor. Everybody remembers you as one thing and enjoys it.
I think we can call him a legendary comic star, which is what he is. And then, so the show is lost.
Well,
all right, Dennis. Thanks.
That's Channel 2 News at 5 for this Monday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Dana Tyler.
And I'm Tony Guida. We're going to see you again tonight.
National Best Buy sale. To business.
I keep asking why.
Tomorrow, believe it or not, Jerry Lewis will turn 69. For some, that's time to step aside, but for Lewis, it's time to step back into the spotlight. He's tonight's Bob Costas interview.